He's going to take a couple minutes and talk about what God has done in his life.
Thank you. Well, Ian, I'd like to thank you for having me up after Amy Franks. I'm not sure how to follow that. I'm also not sure where to stand. This is kind of like a cross between Ghostbusters and a Baptist tent revival. We got dinner on the grounds right here. All right, I don't speak publicly regularly here, so I made some notes, and if I don't read them, I'll get off track, and y'all be going like, "What is he talking about?" Ian asked me to share my story. My wife and I, and Cooper and Tanner, started coming to Southside about 3 years ago. I myself was brought up in a church my whole life, growing up, and I accepted Jesus as my Savior when I was about 8 years old. When I did that, it didn't really, I didn't think too much. You guys have, from what I've seen here at Southside with the children, you guys have a lot better handle on it than what I had when I was growing up. I accepted Jesus, but yet it didn't really take, or it took, but I didn't really think too much about him for quite a few years of my life. And it wasn't until my wife got me back into church. Debbie's pretty good about telling me what to do. And so early on in our marriage, we had our boys. We bought a business. And then I was faced with probably the most difficult situation that I've ever faced in my life. My cousin and best friend passed away suddenly, and it really affected me, and took a lot to get over. And if it wasn't for my wife and our church family and friends and the ability for me to talk to Jesus on a regular basis, I don't know how I would have made it through that time in my life. So since my wife and Jesus got me back on track, things have been a whole lot better in my life. Sure, things are still tough. Who doesn't have problems? But it's how we react to our challenges that really defines us. What we do when we face adversity. And if we can remember during those times to trust Jesus, he will honor that. And if we surrender to him regularly, he will take care of everything. He'll bring us through whatever storm that we're facing at the time. Our family started here, like I said, about 3 years ago. We love this church. Love the people in it. The main reason why, we visited a lot of churches after we left our previous church. And the one thing about Southside that really grabbed us was the focus that this church, coming from the pulpit and everyone around, it was the focus on Jesus. And if you visited a lot of churches, it's not always, the message on Sunday mornings is not always about Jesus as much as it is what I've heard coming out of here. Pastor Bruce and Pastor Dale, Amy and Ann and everybody on the staff is awesome. And I know that we take that for granted as we go to church. We're Christians, we ought to hear about Jesus, but it doesn't always come out as obviously as it does here, at least from what we've seen. So before we came here, Bill and Kim Tate are friends of ours, and Bill and Kim told us one night that we needed to come check out their church, and which is obviously right here at Southside. And one of our main things was for the kids, and making sure that we had a good program for the children. And it's far exceeded any of our expectations. So with that being said, I would say to you that if you're a regular attender and you've been here for a while, don't forget to invite people to church. And don't forget that our number one calling, at least that we should be doing, is whatever we do is to do it to the glory of God, and just to honor Him every day. And in my day-to-day life, I try to spend time with Jesus and God one-on-one, whether I'm driving, whether I'm sitting at the house, sitting at my office, or whatever, bringing all things captive to Him. And it really helps. I don't know how someone who's not a Christian is able to make it through on a regular basis. And I do want to put a plug out. I'm sure everybody here will agree that Pastor Bruce, Pastor Dale, Amy, you're a hard act to follow wherever you are. Ian, Steve, and you guys are awesome, and we love you. I can tell you, if I've been in quite a few of Dale's Bible studies, and I don't know of one that at the end of the study he hasn't mentioned to anyone in there, about coming to him if anybody wants to talk or whatever, wants to learn more. And I highly encourage any of you that if you're on the fence post with that, come talk to him. Thank you.